Hi guys, this is Warhammer and welcome to the next part of the top 10 Eldar units countdown. And we are on to number 8. There's real good countdowns. I'm going to go down in order. Number 8 is the Night Spinner. Now, yeah, this is, by the way, replacing the Fire Prism. Previous edition, I think the Fire Prism was definitely the better of the two sort of heavy hitting blast anti-grav tanks, but this edition definitely the Night Spinner's taken over, and this is for a few reasons. I'm just going to quickly go through why the Night Spinner's made my list, and then I'm going to talk of why it beat out the Fire Prism this time around. Let's just start. Right, it's an amazing source of anti-horde in a book that is so packed full of anti-tank and anti-elite. I mean, you got fire dragons; they will destroy any tank, little monstrous creature. Pardon me. You've got fire, star cannons with bright lances, and now dirt cheap, ridiculously cheap. Considering they can blow a Land Raider apart in a turn. But these things that can't deal with hordes. But the Night Spinner really can deal with hordes. It is fantastic at just wiping hordes away. I mean, it's so powerful, especially when you think hordes generally come with low initiative. You can really start hammering them off the board really quickly. And it can also double up as a really good source of anti-tank. Sort of when they have those big gun lines. I mean, you hit the side armor, you're hitting the strength 8, getting rid of the lighter vehicles that you see sort of with Tau on the side armor, Imperial Guard on the side armor. All these things, as it can always hit the side, it's generally a really good anti-tank option, especially against armies like Dark Eldar, where the tanks are made of paper. So yeah, it still plays an anti-tank role. The next point is probably the biggest one for me. It doesn't need line of sight to fire. This is huge. In a game where little gribblies now, little rubbish troops, grots and cultists and big blobs or little infantry squads scupper behind line of sight blockers, the Fire Prism can't do anything. But no, I mean Fire Prism, but the Night Spinner can. The Night Spinner doesn't need line of sight to fire at anything. There's nowhere on the board your opponent can hide from your Night Spinner. I think this is absolutely huge. Late in the game, when he's put his, bastion with injector behind it, and he's sitting there, and you think, oh, how the hell am I going to deal with this? The Night Spinner will come along and quite happily wipe everything off that objective, especially as little gribblies aren't usually packed with extremely good stats. So, makes such a gap over the Fire Prism there. Adding to that, you don't need to be in the opponent's sightline. You can be behind your own line of sight blocking terrain. You don't need to get in the line of fire. It's not a well protected tank. Night Spinners or the Fire Prisms, and you've got your Jinx saves, but that's about the strength of it. And with only 12 armor, you're going to go pretty fast, but the Night Spinner doesn't have to get in the way of anything. Okay, quickly, it's rending, or pseudo-rending, we'll call it. It's rending against infantry. That is excellent. Gets rid of everything then. Pinning. Pinning is a wonderful rule. When we were Eldar, and I say you've got all this specialist weapon and you can't deal with hordes, if you can just put one enemy unit at bay for just one turn, fantastic. One thing you don't have to deal with, and just hold the approach. Because Eldar, as much as people want to admit it, are a gunline army. They work around gun lines. Their strength is in shooting. Wave serpent lines. If you can stop the opponent shooting for a turn, put his devastators down, put his havocs down just for one turn, you've done your job. And especially against the big hordes of boys, if you kill enough to get them out of the mob rule, you can pin them down, and it's very effective. Okay, here's another massive one. Tau and Necrons are at the top of tournament scene. There's no denying that. If you look at the England rankings of the top few players, Tau, Necrons, and if you look at the tournament entries for tournament lists, what people are taking, Tau, with Chaos Space Marine allies with Helldrakes, Necrons, Chaos Space Marine allies with Helldrakes. This Night Spinner will double tap all instant kill all of these Tau and Eldar, no Tau and Necron models with more than 2 wounds. Wraithwing, basically Wraith spamming. Will get double tap the Wraiths out. Just as for 1/3+ armor save, you've got a Wraith. Talking about getting rid of Scarab Swarms, getting rid of Razorwing Flocks from the Beast Pack. All these things, getting rid of Tau Commanders, not commanders we know like your Dark Striders, your Shadow Suns, all that nonsense. This will do the trick. Getting rid of broadsides, they're only for a 1/2+ save, you've got that jinx on them, you bring that up to a 3+ armor save, they're going to start failing them. This is absolutely massive. The fact that the Night Spinner only has a strength 5 blast is a huge disadvantage to the Night Spinner. I mean, when you start getting the initiative minuses on the old Runes of Battle, you can start just quickly getting rid of Space Marine leaders. You roll your 6, gone, double tap, destroyed that thing. And that is massive. Having that high strength on the large blast means so much in the game. It always comes in handy. Okay, the Flamer template. The Flamer template with the Crystal Targeting Matrix is ridiculous for getting rid of things last turn. Eldar had speed. More than anything. 12 inches. Another 18 inches if you've, and 24 if you've got the Star Engines on. And then to be able to blast your Flamer out. You can literally go from your deployment to his deployment where you've been hiding, barraging him, and stick a Flamer down. These things are survivable and destructive. And as I've said, great for clearing last turn objectives. I sadly can't deny anymore though. Okay, why did the Fire Prism lose out? If you want to fire a blast that will instant kill, the strength 7 one, it's not strength 9 anymore, so you're not getting rid of Marines. You can't pull any tricks with your Runes of Battle to do that. You've only got a tiny blast when you get strength 7. It may be guaranteed AP2, and the big one may be guaranteed AP3, but the strengths aren't particularly high. It's not as good at killing vehicles because you can't hit as many, and the one shot you're going to miss sometimes, and if he just passes one jink or one little thing, you're sort of gone for. And it has to be in line of sight. Has to be in the line of fire, and that is its biggest disadvantage. The Night Spinner is an exceptional tank in the game at the moment. If I had the money, I might even try a triple Night Spinner. You buy a Bastion and you just clunk them all behind, hide them in a line, and you can literally do devastation for the entire game, just pounding your opponent for the entire game until he's forced to give up. I have a Night Spinner on my list. It surprises me how well it does every single game. The movement, the blast, the out of line of sight. This is more Morton. And that's my break pick. I'm out.